Well, great morning, everyone. As you can see, I'm a little fly today. I like this. It's growing on me. Now, I did do a lot of cutting. I had to cut my bangs in it, and then I had to trim it around and, give it the flair that I like. But I am loving it. Um, it's really fun. Oh, I do like this a lot. Now, I saw one site you can get, like not this really curly type, but afros that are like this. Really that big. Now, I did contemplate it. I might for fun. They have one in blue, a blue afro that's like this. It's like crazy. Anyway, we'll see. But I do love this style. This is really fun. I am enjoying it. Now, I'm sure some people are going to like it and some people will probably hate it, and that's the way life is. But for the moment, I'm really enjoying this. Oh, I have one here that's a bit, I want to, there we go, trim that up. Yeah. So what's fun when you have really, really curly hair, you cut the style into the hair. It's a little different than if you're cutting straight hair and you have to measure it out. With curls, you don't measure it out as much as you just cut it into the, you cut the style into your hair. So anyway, but I am enjoying this today. Now, I was just watching this, in the morning I get up and watch YouTube a bit. And I was watching Tim Giddens this morning. He was doing a thing on the narcissist. Now, people that have been on my channel a long time know that I was dealing with a narcissist for a number of years, just attacking my channel, attacking me, would put out really hateful videos daily on their channel. And they've since moved on from attacking me, although they still mention my name. But they've gone on to attack other channels. Now, so I laid out real quick cards for them, and what I got in the center of everything is about working with others. They really cannot work with others because underneath of it all, they have to be the center of the universe of everything, okay? And they are above it on this dark journey, emotional journey, by themselves, okay? So that's what I get from them. And that's going into, now this card was perfect. I can't believe it. It's about their concentration. Where is it? Now, I don't know if you can see, there's a web here, and they have to be the star, and they are caught in their own web. And they are toxic when it comes to speech and writing the lips. Their concentration is what? Always toxic. They are always like the snake ready to strike. And when it comes to practical things, working with people practically, they eat away at that. Why? Because they have to be the ones in charge. They have to be paramount. And usually they are paranoid. So they're always looking and wanting to think that people are after them, or if they hear something they don't like, then that person is obviously attacking them, even though it has nothing to do with them at all. they will claim that that person is attacking them, and then they become viciously nasty. So, the person that was attacking here is still on the net. They've moved on to attack others. Now their attack du jour is watching these Christian ministers, and of course the minister gets up and gives their sermon, and the sermon is always all about her, and it's always a vicious attack. They don't know her from Adam, and yet this person puts out video after video after video that she's going to instruct them on what they need to do, etc. So yeah, the world of the narcissist. They'll be in paranoia. They have to be the center of everything, even though it doesn't have a thing to do with them. And if somebody I've seen, where once in a while I'll look in on what they're doing, and if somebody actually asks this person a question, they will accuse them of stalking. Although they want to be the center of attention, they're always paranoid, and everybody is always after them. So it's this dark mindset of just what a horrible place to live, where you have to interject yourself into the center of everything, and then going on the attack and just being nasty with the world. I just it's a sad place to live. Now we see it also in some degree to 45, of course. The world's against him. He's got to be paramount. He's the big poobah. And anything he hears that he doesn't like, they're lying, it's a witch hunt, it's, and he goes on the attack. This is what the narcissist will do. They're toxic. He didn't like that these women are coming forward and bringing this evidence. They're all lying, they're all making it up, they're all, and he goes on the most horrid, nasty, vicious things. And he's the one that, of course, is the perpetrator. But again, the narcissist will always play the victim, and they always project their bad deeds onto others to try to make somebody else look dirty so that you don't look at them. I've seen this over and over and over, whether it's 45 or whether it was this person that I was dealing with. For a number of years. It's that same basic mentality. They are the center of the world. Just like he says, the country, that he thinks he's the country because he's got to be the center of everything. Okay? Now, so we'll leave that topic. And this morning I was watching this thing. This guy he's in Japan, and he's interviewing these people. They're leaving Japan. And he wanted to know why they're leaving and what they were doing there, etc. Now, I've been close to Japanese culture, and in Japan, Japanese culture is very strange. On one hand, it looks very polite, okay, because it's an external politeness. But I could tell you, it's an external politeness, because behind the scenes, meanwhile they're smiling and bowing and behind in the mind they're thinking, this is Japan. Like I said, I've been around Japanese culture. I worked in Japanese businesses. I worked as a waitress. I worked as a hostess in a Japanese place. It was run like in Japan, where businessmen come and they do their business at a bar, and you are there to facilitate things. That you keep their drink. Now, one thing I never understood, why Japanese businessmen do their business in the bar. They don't do it out at the office. They do it after hours in these bars, and you have the hostess that comes out, and she just keeps the conversation going. You make sure that their drinks are full. You bring out, little, in Hawaii they call pupus. You bring out the like, whether it's grilled cuttlefish or whatever it is, you bring it out and you keep that going. You keep the conversation going. You keep it light. You get them up to sing, to do karaoke. You get up and do karaoke with them. And yeah, it's just kind of a really unusual thing, but that's the way they do business in Japan. They go out to the place, and you'll have their favorite hostess, somebody that they know. You have your own clientele of people that come in that you work with. And again, you just keep moving things along when they come in. So you have to sit and drink with the customer. Now, I don't drink, so I had tea. I had tea because I don't drink alcohol. And so, but you have your own clientele that come. We wear kimono every night. I had my makeup and the wigs that I would wear, katsura, they were made, and people would swear I was half Japanese because I used to sing enka, traditional Japanese music, okay? So, it's an interesting culture. Now, a lot of people think that hostesses there are prostitutes. No, the hostesses, although there may be some that are behind the scenes kind of doing that stuff, but no, the mama-san, the one that runs the place, has prostitutes on call for those that are looking for that activity, okay? So she will set it up if you have some clients there that want to have extracurricular activities, shall we say. The mama-san does have hot and cold running prostitutes that she can get a hold of and to service that client, okay? But so people have a mistaken notion about what happens there, just like they've had a lot of mistaken notions about geishas, that they're not, they are entertainers, they are not prostitutes. So anyway, but it is an odd culture because they have that veneer of overly polite, but really when you get to know them, you know that behind the scenes, while they're bowing and smiling and things, they're thinking, oh my goodness. You just have to laugh. So anyway, no, I did enjoy my time in Japan. My favorite is, of course, Kyoto. I like the old city. I like all the temples. I like that. I like the old style homes, with the tatami, and you do the fire warmed bath in the wooden tubs. And yeah, I did enjoy that. I love the food in Japan. Part of the culture I really like, and then there's another part of the culture which is just odd, okay, that I don't care for. So, and right now, some of the things that are coming up, they have those cafes, and they've lost the art of dating. They don't date for the most part. And they've become so insular doing the gaming and stuff that they don't know how to have a conversation with the opposite sex. So they're having a real difficult time there now with being able to date, having, because they've become so isolated with so many people there. It's, they don't know how to bond and make friendships, etc., when it comes to dating. So a lot of very strange things in Japan. A lot of things that are lovely, and then a lot of things that are very skewed and really a bit toxic and need to be looked at, okay, within the culture. Because, like I said, they've, mostly in Japan too, they've had a lot of arranged marriages. And the wife has her duty, and the husband has his duty outside. And it's not a love interest that they've got going. It's almost like a business arrangement. So yeah, it's a very different type of a culture when you get into it. Very restrictive. And other things, they like models that are, half black, half Japanese, or American, Japanese. They like those models. But to marry somebody like that, oh yeah, no. And artists, they like artists' work and etc., but they're too far outside the box. They have this saying in Japan, and it's really the way the culture is: the nail that sticks out will be pounded down. And that's really the overview of Japanese society, that everybody has to conform to the ideals that they are putting out as a country. So you cannot have that individuality that we love in this country, to be an individual, to be different. There, to be different is looked down on. They might enjoy it from afar, but to have it fully in their lives, no. That's why even now, tattooing, the younger generation is wanting to get tattooed, but the older generations in the bathhouses, they tell you cannot come in if you have tattoos because they see tattoos and they think you're a criminal if you have a tattoo. You must be Yakuza. Okay. So anyway, they're in the midst of change. The younger generation is trying to change some things, but so much of it is so ingrained that it's difficult to break free of those conditioned ideations that still are paramount in the country. Okay. So, I don't know if Japan would be a place I would choose to live, just because I've been, very close to the, and lived around the mentality, the Japanese mentality. And so going there, it wasn't a big surprise as to what I found. If you are gaijin, if you're American, white, you'll never really truly be accepted in Japan. That's the way it is. Foreigners are never, I don't care if you live there for 90% of your life and you speak perfect Japanese, etc., they will always look askance at you as a foreigner. And this is some of the problems that some people have there that have a parent that's a different culture, that actually did marry somebody from Japan, they have a difficult time. Even though they're half Japanese, there's still a bit of isolation there. Now, one of the people this guy was talking with was a woman, and she's leaving. Her mother's Australian, her father's Japanese, and of course she grew up in Japan, but she's leaving to go to Australia because she wants her son to be raised around other cultures, etc., to have a more expansive view. Because she said she'll be walking down the street with her mother, who's Australian, and they will look at her because she's half Japanese, half Australian, and just, kind of give her this once over, shall we say. So, yeah. I've always enjoyed other cultures, going and learning about them. And if I go to a country, I prefer to live there for a year rather than visiting a week or two, because I really want to know the culture. I really want to understand the people and what's there. Like I lived in Mexico, at Lake Chapala, just up from Guadalajara, and I stayed there for a year. And there's an artist community there of expats and stuff, and it was a lovely place. I did really enjoy my time living in Lake Chapala area. But I don't know if I would go back because of so much of the cartels and stuff that's going on now, that it's really not safe to be living in Mexico. Some little pockets may be fine, but you're kind of constricted from going around the country because you just don't know what you're going to run into there. But yeah, I did enjoy going there. I went to the Chichen Itza, and that one album I have out, Mysteries, the photograph on that I took out in the jungle of there, in the Mexican jungle next to, what is it called? Is it Chichen Itza? The one of the kind of pyramid there, the Mayan. I did take that out there in the jungle. So I was there during the red moon, which was really pretty amazing. But anyway, those are just some of the travels, places I've been. And again, my view on it is, if I go somewhere, I'd rather go somewhere and live for a year or so to get to absorb the culture. I've never been somebody that's gone and done touristy things. Like I lived in India for 5 years. I never went to see the Taj Mahal. I never went, because I'm not interested in doing the tourist things. I want to understand the local living things. Now, I was all over India, all the way from the southern tip, all the way up to the Himalayas, and everywhere in between in India. So I did quite extensive traveling while I was there. And yeah, had a lot of experiences living in India. So anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to enjoy my dew here this morning. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you online.